The monster that saved me from my kidnapper is now trying to eat me. My son argued with me before he disappeared. He said he needed to clear his head. I told him he shouldn't leave, not after what he'd found, not after what had happened to his friends. "I'll just take Fenris for a walk," Maceo said, his voice tight. "Mom, I'll be fine." He wasn't. An hour later, the sun bled through the trees, and I stood at the edge of Whisperwood, the place the town kids always dared each other to enter. I found the leash coiled on a bed of dead pine needles, the clip still shiny. Nothing else. No dog, no boy. The silence in those woods was a living thing. It swallowed sound. It swallowed my son. The police came. They walked in lines with bright flashlights that cut useless holes in the gloom. They found nothing. No footprints. No sign of a struggle. Maceo was just gone. My husband, Rhodes, stood beside me, his big frame a statue of disbelief. That night, neither of us slept. We just existed in the suffocating quiet of a house that was suddenly too big, too empty. The next morning, Rhodes was gone before the sun, out there, somewhere, calling Maceo's name into the fog. I was drifting through the kitchen when the phone rang. The sound was a violation. "Hello?" A man's voice, gravel and rust. "You're the mother." I knew who it was. Arden. His son, Corbin, was the reason Maceo's friends were dead. The reason Maceo was a witness. "What do you want?" "First your little shit gets my boy locked up," he spat, venom in every word. "Now the whole town looks at me like I snatched yours. You see the problem here? He was accusing me." The nerve of it cracked something inside me. I hung up the phone, and the sob that ripped out of my throat felt like it was tearing me in half. Did he have any idea? Did he feel the phantom weight of his child's hand in his? I had to get out. The walls were breathing. I grabbed the car keys, needing the mindless task of walking up and down grocery store aisles. On the way, I passed a couple of girls from Maceo's class standing on a street corner with handmade signs. Stop Project SMART. It was some tech initiative the town was obsessed with. Seeing them, seeing my son's life continuing without him, was another small death. I pulled into the parking lot of the shop save, the asphalt shimmering with heat. I hadn't even closed the car door when I heard his voice. Annalise. Arden. He was standing by a pillar, all coiled anger and cheap cologne. I tried to walk past, my head down, but he moved to block me. He was bigger than I remembered. "Your husband ain't on the news this morning," he said, his voice low. "Guess he's not around to play the hero." He stepped closer. I felt something hard press into my ribs. Cold metal, a gun. My breath hitched. "Don't make a sound. We're going for a ride." "My truck. Now." He walked me across the lot, the gun a secret between us, a promise of violence under the bright, uncaring sun. He shoved me into the passenger seat of his beat-up Ford. The cab smelled of stale cigarettes and rage. He kept the gun pointed at my leg as he drove. "Please," I whispered, the word pathetic. "I have money." "You can have anything. I don't want your fucking money." He screamed, and the sound made the whole truck shudder. I went silent, choking on my own terror. He drove us out of town, back toward the woods, back to Whisperwood. He pulled over on the gravel shoulder, the tires crunching to a stop. Out. I didn't move. I couldn't. My body was stone. "Please." He got out, yanked my door open, and dragged me from the seat. His fingers dug into my arm, pulling me toward the tree line. The deeper we went, the colder the air became. The sunlight struggled to get through the canopy. I thought I heard something, a crackle of leaves that wasn't us. Arden heard it too. He stopped, shoving me hard. I fell to my knees. He raised the gun, the barrel a perfect black circle aimed right between my eyes. "This is for Corbin." Before his finger could tighten, a sound tore through the woods. It was a shriek, but that's not the right word. It was the sound of tearing metal and breaking bone all at once, a shriek that had never come from a human throat. Arden flinched, his head whipping around, searching for the source. That was my chance. I scrambled up and ran. "Get back here, you bitch," he roared, crashing through the undergrowth after me. I ran blind, branches tearing at my clothes, my face. I could hear him behind me, cursing, closing the distance. My foot caught on something, a root or a rock, and I went down hard. My hands shot out to break my fall, and one of them landed on something slick and cold. I pushed myself up, my hand dripping with something dark. I looked down. It was a face. Staring up at the canopy with dead, empty eyes. It was Rhodes. He was, opened. His chest was a ruin of splintered bone and shredded meat. Scratches, deeper than any animal could make, raked across his skin. A scream built in my chest, a hot, solid thing with nowhere to go. I was in a shallow ditch with my husband's corpse, the hole too steep to climb out of quickly. Arden appeared at the edge above me, panting. He looked down, and a slow, ugly smile spread across his face. "Well, look at that. Looks like something saved me a bullet." He leveled the gun at me. Now, where were we? Again that sound. Not a shriek this time. A wet, clicking noise, like a snapped bone being set over and over. An arm, long and gray and wrong, punched through Arden's chest from behind. It wasn't an arm, it was a limb, a tool. It lifted him off his feet, the gun clattering from his lifeless fingers and tumbling down into the ditch with me. The thing threw Arden's body against a tree with a sound like a wet towel hitting concrete, and then I saw it. It was pale, the color of rot. Its skin was tight over a skeleton that had too many joints. Messy, dark hair clung to its scalp in wet patches. It had teeth, yellow and sharp, like broken glass. But the eyes. The eyes were pits of yellow light, like dying embers in a skull. My hands, slick with my husband's blood, fumbled for the gun. I raised it, my arms shaking, and fired. The shot was deafening. A hole appeared in the creature's chest. It didn't react. It didn't even seem to notice. It took a step, its long limbs bending at impossible angles, and dropped into the ditch. It shrieked again, the sound vibrating in my teeth. I fired 3 more times. 2 hit. It didn't matter. It crossed the space between us in a single, fluid motion, and its hand, cold and strong, closed around my throat. The last thing I saw were those 2 yellow lights, burning, hungry, and impossibly old. No one ever found the Crew family. No one ever found the Crew family. No one ever found Arden. The town just moved on, pretending not to notice the growing silence that bled from the edges of Whisperwood.